The Florida Joint Center for Citizenship presents Multiple Perspectives, Video 2, Participation in the Political Process. So this is our second video on multiple perspectives, as we consider how multiple perspectives impact the political process. But remember that multiple perspectives are the numerous different, sometimes competing ways in which people think about public and current issues. And remember that it's our First Amendment that allows us to share and discuss and have our multiple perspectives. The First Amendment allows anyone to write a letter to their senator about an issue, which might be freedom of speech, print an article critical of a policy decision about an issue, which would be freedom of the press, participate in a protest march about an issue, which would be peaceable assembly, or gather signatures about an issue to send to a political leader, which would be petitioning the government. Even religion sometimes influences our multiple perspectives. Remember that without the First Amendment, our ability to share our multiple perspectives on current and public issues might not exist. Now, if you watch video 1, you identified groups that can influence public perspectives. And in this video, we'll examine how multiple perspectives can impact participation in the political process. But be sure to watch video 3 to use scenarios to understand the reaction or perspective of different groups. Now, as we learned in video 1, individuals, interest groups, and political parties make their multiple perspectives known about issues and government activities, and will try to convince people of the rightness of their own perspective. So as you may have guessed from watching the first video, and so far in this one, the United States has a society where we all have different perspectives. We all have multiple perspectives. So the question to consider is, how does the existence of multiple perspectives on important issues impact participation in the political process? Often, issues that the government, local community, or even your neighborhood have to deal with and are looking to solve are very complex and difficult. This means that there isn't a simple solution to solve the problem or issue, and many different factors need to be thought through in order to find a solution. These complex problems lead to multiple perspectives from everybody involved in trying to deal with the issue. The people who are trying to address the issue might change depending on the issue. When it's one that the federal government is trying to solve, national interest groups and members of Congress, for example, may make their perspective known in order to impact the political process. If the issue is one that your local government is trying to solve, different city departments, the city council, and individuals living in your community may share their thoughts, their perspectives, to help find a solution that meets their local needs. So let's look now at some of the specific ways each of the groups we learned about earlier, individuals, interest groups, and political parties, can impact the political process. Individuals can work on their own or join interest groups or a political party to share their perspectives on the government and government officials. And we can't forget one of the most important ways individuals can show their perspective: voting. Voting rights give individuals the chance to express their perspectives by choosing one candidate or public policy over another. It becomes obvious what you support when you vote for it. Interest groups can work with members of Congress or with other elected legislators to get laws passed. This is usually referred to as lobbying. Interest groups also educate members of their group on key issues they want them to support. Through lobbying, making campaign contributions, and getting their message out to influence public opinion, different interest groups reflect multiple perspectives through their participation in the political process as they provide their input on issues, candidates, and ideas. Perhaps not surprisingly, political parties reflect multiple perspectives in the political process. Remember that a political party is a group of citizens with similar views on public issues who work together to elect candidates who represent their views. Competing political parties give voters a choice among candidates and ideas. So why do individuals vote? Why do interest groups lobby? Why do political parties try to elect candidates that share their views on issues? Why do they do all these things? Because they want to shape participation in and impact the political process, because they want their perspectives on issues to be heard. Voting shapes participation in and impacts the political process by rewarding or punishing candidates for their position on an issue. And lobbying shapes participation in the political process and impacts it by helping leaders in the public decide what position to take on an issue. Electing candidates shapes participation in and impacts the political process by bringing leaders to power who have a perspective on an issue that reflects that party and may or may not be supported by lots of people. All of these different ways are ways that multiple perspectives shape participation in the political process. Let's check in. Try to answer the following in your own words. How does the existence of multiple perspectives shape participation in and impact the political process? Multiple perspectives shape participation in and impact the political process by causing individuals, interest groups, and political parties to want to participate and be involved. They'll all do different things to make sure their perspectives on issues are being heard. Let's recap what we've learned so far. Remember that issues can be difficult and complex. Groups dealing with the issue may change depending on if it is a local or national issue. Individuals can join an interest group or political party to share their perspective, and voting is one of the most important ways individuals can share it. Remember as well that interest groups will lobby legislators to get their perspectives into law, and competing political parties give voters a choice among perspectives on candidates and issues. So as we can probably see, multiple perspectives on current and public issues shape how we participate in the political process. Interest groups, political parties, and individuals have their perspectives on issues and have to understand them to try and agree. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you watch the first video in this module to identify groups that influence public perspectives, and the third video to understand the reaction or perspective of different groups. This video is produced by the Florida Joint Center for Citizenship at the Lou Fry Institute. Thanks for watching.